Hello, woodchucks and farmers. Welcome back to Oceanside Forest. Just watching the deer graze in our sorghum field that we planted last episode. I hope they're not eating my seed. Technically, they're not. But, you know. Anyways, coming on down over here, a few comments came in. Well, actually, a good amount of comments came in. So, I mean, the obvious easy fix to this situation we had last episode with the versatile coming up the hill. And kind of, I don't want to say, well, it was struggling. Let's just say it was struggling. I should have been going actually side to side. That'd be our best option. I guess there are a few options. Some people are saying there is like a mod of a 3-point link I can put in front of the versatile, which will allow me to put some weights on it. Some other options, but I think going side to side next year will probably be the best option, unless we change things on up. Yes, we got some tire tracks going in the field because I've been kind of busy. Really, well, the game's going to say I've been playing for maybe 2 hours, but really it's been like an hour. I've been cutting some trees over here. I thought about going further on down the road, but when I brought the tree harvester up here, and I was kind of glancing over to the forest over here, this is very flat over here. So I think I've cut down a good amount of trees, and we actually have peaked at another 100 trees. I've cut down 70, 2 hours. Really probably like an hour. I've been getting up and doing things around the house, and leaving the game running. But we're at 622, which means it's time to get rid of some more stumps, and I got to pay because we hit 600. So let's come into here. Let's see here. Remove money, 5,000. And then we got to come to here. Remove stumps. Yes. That'll make driving through here a little bit easier. Billy is really quick. He comes in, removes the stumps, and stump be gone. But we're all set there. So I do got some logs here. We are going to grab our Winter Wolf truck. And we're going to take this with us. We're going to leave the trailer. You know, I might as well take the trailer with me and actually get the logs down into the mill. I got a good amount of logs. You can imagine 70 trees I cut down. The sawmill is going. I put some logs into the firewood production building as well. So that's running. But we're not selling firewood until December. I'm actually thinking about putting down a storage building for the firewood. Not like the one we had on Hinterland. I don't want to, I think if we get over 250, it'll be too much and will cause some lag. So just a small ship. We're not making that much firewood anyways. So just to store it, that way it can keep on spawning and keep on running. But we're grabbing the Winter Wolf here because we're going to go on down to the store. We're going to buy ourselves a spreader. And it actually is part of the mod for this truck. So I think it's going to work rather well. I hope. I haven't tried it. I was going to buy the Bredal spreader that I always do from Stevie just because I could paint it different colors. And I'm like, what's this spreader over here? I don't remember. That spreader does not look familiar to me. And it's part of the Winter Wolf pack. So let's park our logging trailer over here. I don't know how many liters of wood I got in here, but last I knew it was pretty close to 300,000. Might be over that now. Okay, well, it's been using it, of course, because time's been going on by. Let's head on down to the store. And we're going to buy ourselves a lime spreader. It does fertilizer and manure as well. And I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, it doesn't quite hold as much as the Bredal spreader can. But it's a lot cheaper. And, we get to use the Phoenix. So, come on down here. Because this is where the store is. Go on into here. Where was I? Spreaders is somewhere. There we go. Scroll on down to the end. So the Winter Wolf, what we need though, we need it for the 5th wheel attacher because that's what we have. Design, do I need reflectors on it? Probably not. Beacons, I was looking at orange, green. I do like green. So the capacity is 16,000 or you can go up to 450,000. That's a little bit too much, I think, for what we're doing here. I think 16,000 is more than enough. Main color, we got options. I was trying to think, do I want to go the same with the truck? And I think we'll try it. I don't know what color the truck technically is. So we'll just go with an orange, and I think we'll leave it at like that. So 24,850. We'll just say 25,000. Let's go ahead and buy that. Sorry, I hesitated there for a second because I was like, wait a minute, I can't buy new. I'm like, oh, wait, wrong series. Now that we got 3 series going on the channel, yeah, because why not? And if you didn't know, I started a series of American Falls on Saturday. Wait, does that not go? That won't attach us to the back of this? Oh no. So when it says fifth wheel, would that not attach? Alright, I know what I did wrong there. Hang on a second. Alright, so I kind of screwed up. So that was like, what, 25,000? I gotta sell that now because I am a moron. As we all know. Where are we going? So I'll just add 5,000 to that, but we'll sell it. I goofed up. Luckily, we can just do this. Hang on. Make sure it's 5,000. Yeah, we're ballpark right back where we should be. All right, let's go back in here and let's do this again. I thought it was a Winter Wolf, but when it said fifth wheel, I thought it was going to attach to the fifth wheel hitch on the back of the Winter Wolf. So, my guess is I should just leave it on the Winter Wolf. Let's see, beacons, green, capacity, main color, something like that, 24,850. Now will it attach? I probably should test it, but I just saw this a second ago. Alrighty, so it doesn't attach to this either? Oh, there we go. Ooh, very narrow area where it attaches to. Sorry, I saw it there. Ah, there we go. Now we're all set. Now we're cooking. Now we are cooking. Now, the only fields I won't be able to do are the ones up by the power lines, because that crop has grown. And of course, we don't have narrow tires on the Winter Wolf. So we gotta zoom on up to our farmyard, to our lovely little hut, and we'll fill this up with some lime. And we'll go first do the sorghum field that we planted. And then we gotta go over to the other field, just on the other side. Well, I shouldn't say on the other side of this woodlands here, but we need to go that direction. And the John Deere is already over there with the soil sampler. And we got to take some soil samples. Probably just one will cover it. And then we'll head on over there with the Versatile and the planter. Solid fertilizer, lime, and manure. That's what we can put in here. We want some lime. Fill it on up. Perfect. Is there a cover to this? I don't see where there's a cover to it. Alright. It's kind of interesting. It doesn't take salt, though. Because I did see some pictures when I downloaded the mod that, you know, Winter Wolf, you can have a plow and everything for this. I'm surprised it doesn't take salt. Not that I would want to throw salt around on my roads, because one thing salt will do, yes, it will take care of snow and melt everything, but also, it's not good for growing things. In case you didn't know, salt, yeah, if you put that like in a flower bed or something, it's going to destroy everything. Still taking the access up through here. The one thing I didn't see, though, is how wide is the working width for this? Okay, it's not that bad. It's okay. But this is going to help out our, of course, precision farming scoring, and of course our yield in the field as well. So getting back, I was mentioning that on Saturday, or if you're watching this when this video goes live on Saturday a couple days ago, I started a series on American Falls by Lancy Boy. It's definitely going to be one episode a week on Saturdays, as I was saying in the episode, but there may be a second one during the week sometimes. Of course, I got other series. You know, we're not doing it. We're not changing Goldcrest Valley. We're not changing Oceanside Forest. Those videos are going to be out per usual. I'm not going to change Construction Sim or ATS or Snow Runner for the most part. So, yeah, there might be a second episode per week on American Falls. And of course, along with other simulators, right now, I'll be doing a pool cleaning simulator episode later today, I hope. I should be recording that after I get done with this. Yeah, go check out the American Falls episode that went out a couple days ago in case you didn't see it. And if you're not a fan of precision farming or crop rotation, we're not doing that on that map, so maybe more your style. Already, I am liking this, using our Winter Wolf truck for more purposes other than transporting logs around, and of course our pallets Pallets of fun. So in between cutting the trees earlier, I was into the store and just rounding up some numbers of what I'm going to need when summer comes. I'm thinking like 1.5 to $1.75 million worth of cash to buy the harvester, the header. We're going to need a silo, and of course the first chicken pen needs to go down. That is all going to be happening in July, I do believe. That's when our first harvest will start. So, yeah, once we get our first harvest in, then we can start with the chickens. But, of course, they need to place to put the grain in, which will be the silo. Somebody estimated a while back that I probably, once we get up to 10,000 chickens, we're looking at like 3 million liters worth of grain a year. So, I'm going to pick a silo for 6 million liters, which should, that's a lot of grain. So I'm hoping that should be enough. I don't know. We'll find out. If it's not, and I need more than 6 million, then I'll have to put a different silo down. I know there are silo extensions, but the silo we're going to use, I don't see an extension for. Not right off right away, but I wasn't too concerned about it because I figure 6 million liters that it can hold, that seems like a lot, and it should be enough. And it's going to be kind of I think it's the same silo-ish that we used on East Vineland. And since I'm not going to be using the big auger chaser bin that I tried using on East Vineland, because that thing is so huge, I don't think I got anything that's capable of pulling it around. That was rather difficult, and I'd just rather just use a smaller trailer anyways at that point. That silo should be fine. And the silo will be going in the production chicken yard, which is down in front of us. So I cannot wait to actually get started on the chickens. Get them going, because we're going to try this starting with 8. And then work our way up to 10,000. 8 chickens to 10,000? We shall see. And of course, we have the enhanced animal mod that will be running as well. And the one thing I should check, because I've never really done a test on it, but I think I checked on it in 19. It's going to sound weird when I say this, but I think roosters lay eggs as well. So the enhanced animal mod, it's a 50-50 chance that when our chickens reproduce, it's not going to reproduce just all hens. It has a chance of reproducing roosters and hens. But I think in Farming Simulator, a chicken will just lay an egg, whether it's a rooster or a hen. We will start off with, on the original 8, we will start off with a rooster and 7 hens. But we'll get more into the enhanced animal mod once we get our chickens. So just to show how well this is going to help us on out here. So right here, our expected yield now is 112%. Actually, the pH value is not that bad in this field. The expected yield doesn't drop hardly at all. Still shows 112%. Over here, it shows 89, but I think we're in different soil type. Here, we're in Loomy Sand. And here, we're in Sandy Loam. Yep. Big difference, I guess. Yeah, so we're not going through that much lime because we just saw that the pH value in this field is not that bad, but let's go ahead and get it as best we can. And of course, the winter wolf here has no problem going up and down the hill, so we'll keep on going this way. When it comes time to harvest, I was looking at the combine that we're going to be purchasing, and I went through all the options I want to add to it. That will cost us like $780,000 for the combine. Expensive, yes, but you know what? The money on this series really isn't going to be, is not really a thing. It is a thing right now, but yeah, we're making so much of it, spending that much money on a combine. It'll be fine. And then, of course, the header we're going to be using the Honeybee header, the nice 60-footer that should be able to handle it okay. And the terrain here isn't bad, so I don't think we'll be missing a whole lot of spots. And that's $1 million for our harvesting equipment. And the silo, I think, is, I forgot how much it was, maybe $500,000. And then the chicken coop's like 80,000. So that's why we need like $1.5 million when July rolls around. And as I mentioned in a previous episode, we're not going to buy anything used. I will be trading in the 7R John Deere later on. That we bought that used because we needed to at the time. Nothing wrong with the 7R. It's performing just fine. But I'd rather trade it on in and get a tractor with no hours on it. And I'm thinking about getting a Deutz 7 Series. So it's going to be kind of similar. I do believe I can put Nero tires on that tractor as well. So when it comes time to, you know, spraying for weeds, or I have to go into a field with crop already growing in it, we need Nero tires so we don't destroy anything. Hopefully I can get the little corner up here. Yes, perfect. And it looks like I should be able to finish this field with the amount of lime that we have. We are putting the hours. I was actually surprised I only got 6.2 hours on the truck. From moving all the logs around and doing all the selling of the pallets down at the store. I would have thought would have had more hours on the truck by then, but guess not. And at some point, I think it'll be after this year, I may start putting the pallets on sell directly rather than me bringing them on down. I will lose either 5 or 10% on the sale, but at that point it's not going to matter that much because we'll have pretty much bought, you know, all the major expensive equipment that we need. So the money coming in is going to be so ridiculous. It's going to be interesting to see when we do end the series how much money we do have. But I think at some point, you know, I may stop doing the forestry work. Because right now I'm doing it because we need fields. And I need to create fields. That's why we're cutting down the trees and everything. So at some point I may have enough fields and not really, you know, have to go out with a tree harvester and make an opening for a field. So the auto sensor is not going to see those areas that I haven't covered, but that's good enough. So this field is just about all set. The only thing I need to do to come in is I need to quote-unquote spray for weeds, even though we're not going to get any. Let me bring this back on up to the farmyard, top this off with some lime, and then we'll go over to the other field with the John Deere weights. We'll take one soil sample, send that in, and by the time we get the Versatile on down to the field, we should be able to plant some sorghum. There we go. Load it on in, please. Alright, I'll see you over at the other field. And we'll get to work. Alright, we'll leave that truck running, because I'll be using it in just a moment. Bring up the map, of course. And I need the full map for this thing because we're going to get this field done in one go. That should do it. Send that one sample in. Fold this on up. And it's already analyzed. Let's go ahead and just park this over here. Well, being only one sample, it was going to be happening really quick. Yeah, the pH value over here is bad. It's kind of interesting that the field up there, the pH value was not that far off, but here it needs a little love. So since that happened quicker than I was expecting it, let's go ahead and get this field done. I'm not going to show you me doing the entire field. You just saw me do that one up there. But we'll just do the beginning so you can see how much we're technically using. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see, where the field currently is and where our target is. And so still not using that much. And we definitely have enough to get the field done. And it's not going to take us long once we bring the Versatile over here along with our direct drill. Should take us about a couple minutes or so. And some of you will be happy because when I get done here with the Winter Wolf and I'll bring the spreader back to the main yard, the farm yard, we're going to buy ourselves a pressure washer because I've been asked by a few people to please wash the truck. So we will get it washed. We shall clean it on up. So in the end, looks like this field is going to use just about as much lime as the other field did, and this field is maybe half the size? Kind of hard to tell because our Phoenix truck is, kind of dirty. I'm trying to see if the color, I think it's close enough. Let's go ahead and park this over here. Alright, let's go get our Versatile. And we should have enough fertilizer, and of course we got plenty of seed. Yeah, the horsepower in this tractor is not the problem running the drill. I think it was just, going up the hill, a steep hill, with as much weight as we got behind us, and also trying to run the implement at the same time. Yeah, it was, it did rather well. I don't know if adding more weight to help us get better traction is going to help, because when you add more weight, well, that's more weight. Now we got to start pulling uphill. Yeah. I think next time, like a couple people suggested, when I get to a hill like that, just, go back and forth, not up and down, which, yeah. In the moment, I didn't even cross my mind. But after, someone said, you should have gone this way, it's like, yeah, why didn't I do that? But probably when it comes time to harvest, I'll go up and down thinking, there's got to be a better way to do this. And you guys will be like, yeah, if you went side to side, like we told you when you were drilling, you could do that same thing with a harvester. So we're going to get this field here planted. This will be probably the last field that we plant for this season. Because, we're starting with 8 chickens. We don't need that much grain for the year. So I can spend the rest of the summer, winter, preparing fields for next year. Stay ahead of the game because I don't want to have to buy chicken feed. As you can see, this field's not going to take me too long to plant with this. But now it should go just a little bit better, I think, than it did before. So planting speed is 11. Implement requires 450 horsepower. We got 200 over, so it shouldn't be an issue. And we're easily getting up to 11. I think someone did say there was a modded Versatile with tracks for it. I mean, it's something that, we could possibly change in the future, but I'd just rather kind of like stick with this one right here. I mean, originally, like I said, I was going to go with tracks. Don't hit that tree. You are. I was going to go with a... Yeah, this is a disaster. I try to leave some trees around, but I mean, this field is going to get bigger in the future. All right, excuse me for a second. Like any farmer would do, well, let's come out in here and pick this up. Well, maybe not like that. That'll work. Oh, no, let go. You gotta let go of it. Well, that really twisted me around now. What a mess. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, originally I was going to go with a T9 New Holland tractorized. But then when I saw this, it's like, well, this was for sale a little while ago, and I think the color coordination between this and the drill is perfect. Yeah, so all these trees that I'm kind of like on the edge with, this field will get larger next year, I hope. I hope I don't get too focused on other fields. Hopefully I get a chance to come back on down here and widen this out. I just left this area because the field that we drilled last episode, that was more of a clearing, and I thought, you know, I need to cut those few trees down, and it'll give us a nice second big field. Well, yeah, the ones by the power lines were sort of a get down last season. Let's get some crop in. Let's actually do some farming, not forestry work. And I think this drill is about the right size for what we're doing here. If I need to upgrade in the future to the bigger one, like I said, there is one I think that's like 30-meter wide drill, maybe even 35. I forgot what it said, but it's rather huge. And by then, I may need to go to the Big Bud or something that has like 1,000 horsepower. The implement doesn't require that much, but yeah, better go, go large. And a few people have wanted me to use the larger equipment for a while now. And I thought this will be a good map to do it on. We can make the fields as big as we want. And even if the implements get too big, well, all it really does is I get the fields done quicker, and I don't have to do like jump cuts or time lapses as much. So this field is taking a good amount of fertilizer as well, but I should have enough to get the field done. It's interesting. I thought the deer, I may have mentioned it last episode actually, but I thought the deer only spawned on the edge of the woods and in the woods. Now, of course, originally this used to be all wood, so yeah, but they're spawning like right in the middle of the field, which is fine. Yeah, so this setup works perfectly fine on nice level surfaces. I'm pretty sure it would work on slight gradual inclines like we'll have right there. Now, as we looked at our crop rotation last episode, I think we're going to have a crop. I said originally we wanted to stick to wheat, barley, and sorghum because that's what the chickens will take. But I think we'll add a fourth or possibly even a fifth crop to make the yields in the field as best they can be. And then the other crop we can just always, of course, just sell straight up whenever we need. And I think even our 6 milliliter silo should be enough for us. As I said, if we run out of storage in the silo, I'll just probably just buy another silo. Because by then we'll have so much money I won't know what to do with it all. I think anyways. And I don't think I'm going to get it in one more pass at the end, but yep, we're just about done. I'll bring this old equipment back later on. But we'll grab the Winter Wolf, because I got to go back, drop off the lime spreader. We'll get ourselves, this is standard pressure washer. A few people have told me about the, I think there's a couple actually mobilized pressure washers that we could use, but I just rather use either like a wash station. I was going to use Alien Gym's wash station, but then I thought, now we'll just go with the basic wash station. The reason why I didn't go with Alien Gyms, I don't think it's going to fit in with the sheds that we're going with. And two, one thing I do like about Alien Gym's sheds is they kind of, when you place them down, you got to build them. I kind of forgot which way it's going to be facing when I place it down, so we'll just go with the standard $4,500 pressure washer. And we'll get this off the field, because if I forget it here and the crop grows, I don't want to leave it here for too long and then destroy the crop. I've been thinking about making this a little bit of a roadway down through there, but really, I think it's good. Don't need to, it's not that far around. So back to the farmyard, drop off the lime spreader, and we'll give the truck a wash. And I'm thinking we'll just put it by the workstation. I'm actually going to back this in here. I think I'll repair the truck while we're here. And I think that should be far enough in the trigger. Yes, it is. Repair it for $1,089. And while we're here, $1. Might as well repair that. I mean, didn't really need it, but... And let's see here. I kind of want it... Can I actually place it inside the building? That'd be kind of nice. Construction tools. Turn it around that way. Oh, you know what might be kind of tricky? I can't remember, because it may or may not open the door when I do this. I can't remember if it's the same key. No, it's R for that, and I think it's left mouse button for opening and closing the door. So, just shy of 7 hours on the truck. It's time to give it a good wash. So I think it's the white gravel that really turns it white, pretty much. Yeah, so that's what the truck looks like. There we go. That's nice and clean now as well. Yeah, I think those oranges, it may not, it kind of looks like the same shade of orange. So yeah, I think it looks good. Although looking here to here, at least on my screen, I think it's a shade off, but you know what? It's good enough. Good enough. Actually, you know what? I should probably take a thumbnail. You've probably already seen it. Alright, so we got our nice, decent sized shed over here, so let's start putting some more stuff into it. For now, this is the stuff that's going to be going into, but I think in the future it's going to be like our tractors, bigger equipment. Because the worst thing I could be doing is putting small implements back here and then burying everything. Did I leave myself enough room? There we go. Perfect. Alright, let's go grab the logging trailer, shall we? And head back up the hill. We'll get into the tree harvester and start cutting down some more trees. I will sell all of the products out of the sawmill, but of course I'll sleep overnight. And I'll sell it all before I start next episode. But I will kind of... I think we'll... I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this here. Yeah, I'm probably going to cut more trees down and actually make sure the sawmill is really full overnight. But currently, so you can get a rough idea of how it's going to be. But then again, our production building is still running, of course. Where am I going? Up here. So this is if I sell it at the correct time, but we can't go by those values. But we can go by beams. We got like 100,000 there. And then wood beams here. That goes to Billy. So we got like 2.25. Another 150,000 there. And if I sold the planks at Billy's, that's like another over $500,000 currently. Currently, that's what we have. And right now we still got almost 200,000 liters, so we're still producing. And I want to get more trees in for the night goes. So yeah, we could have maybe $750,000 in the bank account by next episode. The firewood will not be sold. And in July, like I said, when we really start harvesting, and I shouldn't be driving the field this way, but yeah, it's fine. But in July, once we get to harvesting, the chicken yard, production yard, that's when we're going to start putting down everything, start maybe putting down some more gravel and quote-unquote decorating around there. I won't do a whole lot of landscaping and painting on camera, but maybe to show a couple things. Some people like it, some people don't, so I don't know if I should be showing or not, but I'll make up my mind once we get there and get going. But we need to start making that yard look like a yard, if we will. Yes, I'm trying to I want to stay on the flat ground, but you can see it's really, really flat all the way out through here. I think some of you mentioned it last episode that it's really flat. I think a couple mentioned here, but a couple other spots as well, like over by the power lines, where I cut down the trees that were in the road when I went around. Yeah, at some point, I do want to get ourselves the lowboy so I can transport the tree harvester and possibly it's going to be a case harvester that we're going to have, but we can transport that around on the lowboy instead of driving it around. Right now, you know, once this field behind us grows up and the crops start to grow, I'm not going to be able to drive through it because of crop destruction. So we'll have to take the long way around. Overall, Oceanside Forest, I was real unsure of how this series was going to go, just because I know a lot of people do not like forestry work. And, you know, I understand if they'd want to stick around and wait for the chickens to show on up, but maybe they'll come back, maybe. But yeah, the series is holding up better than I thought it would, honestly. But I did want to get back into forestry a little bit, which, you know, we're doing that, of course. But it's also fun, you know, to I don't want to say that doing these chickens is going to be a tough challenge. But I think it's going to be fun once we get them rolling, and just starting with 8 chickens and getting up over 10,000. I mean, the idea kind of came... okay. As long as it did actually cut. I didn't think it actually cut because the tree didn't move. But the idea for the chickens kind of came from like the Griffin, Indiana series in 19. I think we started with 40 cows. If someone does remember, remind me. But I think we bought only 40 cows, and we worked up our way to 2,000. And I think that series was like 100 episodes or so. So if I cut a good amount of trees here, how many trees were we at? I've cut down to what, a couple now? I think we were at like, what, we'll just say 625. So by the time I end the month myself, because I'm going to cut more trees in between episodes, I'll probably be up to 700, possibly. All right, I'll probably push myself up to 700. So that means we'll have to get a hold of Billy again and pay him. But we should have a good amount of wood going back into the mill. Yeah, I wouldn't even be actually surprised if we hit 100 million. Yeah, $1 million in the bank account when we start the month of May. If the sawmill produces that well. Maybe just shy of it? And if I have at least 800,000, I think we'll go ahead and buy the harvester, just so I can, see my money situation. Because right now, I'm really only rushing to get some logs and all that into the mill. So I make sure we have all the money that we need when harvest season comes. I don't want to get to July, have fields ready, and be like, I got enough for the harvester and header, but I don't have no place to put, the grain into a silo, which is going to be very key. Extend that back out. These smaller trees are not really worth it, but they gotta come down. Oh, and I was thinking, because, me, I can't stop thinking, of putting some trees down around the yards as well. I don't know if I want to plant them, so I'm going to let you guys kind of decide on that. So once we get the yards kind of built a little bit more, both yards, the farmyard and I think I'll just call it the chicken yard, because we're gonna have more chickens there than productions, and the chicken yard. I do want to put like trees around the yards to give it some more color in the fall. So would you rather me just buy the trees and plant them as we decorate, or would you rather see me hand plant them like we are on Goldcrest Valley and did on Slender, where we use a shovel and plant them that way and we watch them grow? Or would you rather see like I was doing on Hinterland, and like I said, money's not going to be too much of an issue in the next year or so, where we can buy the excavator, because we can't lease on this series. We can buy the excavator and we'll plant them so they're like really tiny small saplings, and we'll let them grow that way. So I'll let you guys make that call on how you want to do it. It's going to be a while before we get there, of course. It's going to be a number of episodes, so it's going to give people a chance to actually comment below. So like I said, when it comes time to put some trees around the yards, either just buy them when we landscape, do hand planting, or do excavator planting. And it seems like every time I give you guys options, I know how it's going to turn out. It's going to be 33% across the board, and then I'll just be like, okay, well, this is the way we'll do it. Except when it came to the tree harvester. I said what color, and I would say 75 to 80% of the votes were pretty much saying pink. And if you've been around my channel long enough, you can understand I really don't care what color it is, because it does make it interesting. I would say what's the most hideous combination I can come up with, but some of you probably say you've done that many times. And so we sit at 75,000. Like I said at the beginning of the next episode, I'll probably start the episode as I finish up the last few loads, going on down to Billy. And then if we got enough, I may, like I said, if it works out, we may just skip a month or two without me putting wood into the mill. Because I don't have anything else left to do at this point until harvest season when it comes to farming. I mean, other than cutting down trees and getting fields ready elsewhere. So I'll probably focus on this area right here for the meantime. Alright, now it's time to kind of pick up the logs I'm putting down. It all goes good until you get where the header always turns the wrong way when you don't expect it to, and it lands on the tracks. And of course, because we got tracks on it, the top of the tracks are going towards the front, and the bottom ones, of course, push us. So when a log gets on it, you would hope, oh, it's just going to slide off and fall off, but the tracks keep pulling the logs forward along with it, so it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. And I've been trying to not overload this truck here. Is it on the left? Yes, it is. So I don't tip over or have issues going downhill, but I can't help myself. Sometimes I just try to grab every log possible. And going downhill, it could be kind of fun. You always get one log that does that. Nope, that's the wrong button. Let's unload. Reload. There we go. Sometimes loading logs, they have a mind of their own. But I'm not going to complain, because if I had to do this manually, I probably wouldn't have enough money yet to buy the land that we're on. That's how far back I'd probably be. But I know a few people have asked to see where we get the wheel loader or other machinery and actually try to load them without auto load. And I said, that'll be coming in way future episodes. Actually, some people did not like in last episode of Goldcrest Valley, where I was loading the eggs up onto the autoloader with the front loader, because that didn't go as planned. So watching me load something and struggle with it, some people get frustrated in watching that. But I did it on Silver Run, and it wasn't that bad, so we just have to wait until we got the money. Money situation is excellent, because like I said, I either gotta buy the wheel loader. We can't lease anything. And one more log here. I mean, I could really leave the log there, but I try to grab as much as I can. And I shouldn't strap them in, because, as I mentioned last episode, someone did say straps, they found out, sometimes are what's causing the issue of the trailer tipping over. But the thing is, if I do start to tip over, I'd rather have the straps on to hold the logs in place. You can see they're jiggling around now, and all of a sudden the trailer is doing, yep, it's doing it. If I take the straps off, you can see what the straps do. You see when I unstrapped it, the logs kind of exploded. Now the trailer is settling. I think the best thing to possibly do at this point is leave the straps undone. And if I were to start to tip over, the heck with it. Let them go everywhere, because it's an auto loader, so I can just load them back up. The one thing you don't want to do is, if your auto-loading trailer tips on its side, and you do have straps on or whatever, and you unload, pay attention which way you're unloading, because if the side you're on is on the ground and you unload, the logs will go under the map. So you'll lose the logs, and I don't know exactly what happens to them, but they're down there somewhere. So I think if I leave the straps off, that's the best way to go. And every time I bring a trailer down, it could be up to 80,000 liters that we're putting in. So we're at 172, so we're going to get up to 250? 237. So, and there's about. So we're going to get plenty of pallets, as you can imagine. And I'm going to bring down more wood, of course. Like I said, I'm going to try to shoot for 700 trees cut, so we can get rid of all the stumps up there. And then I'll just sleep through the night. And then I'll get our unloading trailer right there and start bringing it on down. And I'll possibly get up to $1 million in the bank account as we start next episode. And we'll go ahead and do some purchasing. And then if it goes really, really well, maybe just go right to July without doing much of anything, and we can possibly be harvesting next episode. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes, and then you'll see how it goes, because I really don't know right now. We'll have to wait and see. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Oceanside Forest. But until then, have a good one.